Good morning, sports fans. Well, it's Wednesday morning, about what time? 9:30, about 9:30 in the morning. I'm heading east on Highway 70. It's a 2-lane road. We're heading out to a small town. I've been around this town before, but I've never really stopped and seen this town. So we're going to stop. We're going to take a look. Because why not? It's a beautiful morning, and at 9:30 it's already 82 degrees. Chance that this may hit 90 today, and we're going to be out there in it. So sports fans, hang in there, and I'll see you, down the road.
Arcadia was formed in 1886 by the Florida state legislatures. At present, there is approximately 7,500 residents in about 3,000 households. Arcadia is known for its antique and antique fairs, also for its rodeos, and it's located on the Peace River. On Thanksgiving Day, 1905, the town was destroyed by a large-scale fire that originated from a midtown livery stable. I'll give you a little bit more information about this town as we go. First, I've got to run over a curb. Well, I'm uptown. Arcadia, Florida. There seems to be a lot of noise down here right now. Somebody's screaming. There it is. Well, let's go this way. Here's a building for rent. Found our guy. It's like an antique store. Looks like a lot of them down here. Looks like a lot of them for rent. There's a cold wall banker. Building right there. Being remodeled, maybe. Got a guy back there really screaming up a storm, isn't he? Okay. Get the other camera and take a look at this place. In 2004, Arcadia was heavily damaged by Hurricane Charlie, during which the eye went over the city with winds measured up to 109 miles per hour. The city's only shelter, the Turner Ag Civic Center, was a shelter made to withstand winds of 100 miles an hour, but it collapsed during the storm. Everyone evacuated into the hallways and the kitchen of the Turner Center prior to the collapse. The people in the Turner Center were evacuated to DeSoto High School, but soon part of its roof collapsed. In the center of town, the damage downtown, especially businesses on Oak Street, was severe. This hurricane displaced 16,000 people. In 2017, Hurricane Irma went over the city as a Category 1. In September 2022, Hurricane Ian made landfall near the coast of Florida. The hurricane struck as a strong Category 4 hurricane, near Category 5 strength. The storm would go over the city as a Category 3 hurricane. A lot of floors and roofs collapsed. And our boy's hollering again. Arcadia is the county seat for DeSoto County. And our boy is still at it. There's a hotel downtown, but it looks to me like it may be under partial renovation. It's a neat building, this depot. They made it into an office building. I think there's 2 insurance agencies located here. Somebody forgot to change the clock. It's actually 9:30. From 1917 to 1922, Arcadia was the home of the Carlstrom Field. It was a grass airfield of the U.S. Army Air Force, named for deceased aviation pioneer Victor Carlstrom. Carlstrom Field was used for pilot training, both during World War I. In May 1941, the site again became an airfield for military primary flight training. Small park here. I crossed the street and went over to the park. Nearly got ate by a big dog. He didn't like anybody coming around at all. Looks like the hotel does have vacancies. Boy, I gotta say one thing, this guy down here sure got a set of lungs on him. Our boy down here can really scream. Now I bet when they have their antique fairs, and there can be as many as 150 to 200 vendors come in, besides the shops that are already here. That's a lot of antiques, folks. And I'll bet they're busy.
Well, sports fans, downtown Arcadia. I'm right in the middle of town. The old town, downtown. There's a guy out here in the corner behind me, just screaming. Screaming. I finally figured out what he was screaming about. It's the Bible. There's no doubt that the guy's a little off, but it sure doesn't look like it's good for tourism. I seen a few people out walking and they all walked away, and now they're gone. So I'd say anybody comes in this town and sees that going on, or hears that going on, you don't want to be around him, that's for sure. I think he's harmless, but he sure makes a lot of noise. You can hear him 3 blocks away screaming. Hard to understand him because he's screaming. But I can't say it's very good for Arcadia. I would think they'd want to get that stopped, but they seem to tolerate it and don't think much of it, I guess. So that's the way it goes. So downtown, I've seen a lot of antique stores. So if you like antiquing, this is a good place to come. I've seen a lot of stores, like a lot of the downtowns in the older cities, smaller towns, vacant buildings. Shame on that, but that's the way it is. And if they got that going on, that guy's screaming every day, I can see why they're vacant. I wouldn't rent a place down here with that going on every day. be driving any customers I might get and be driving them away. So I'm going to drive around the town. I didn't see much there to talk about or to go into and look around. There's a few cafes here and there. None of them were outside. They're all inside cafes. So, for what it's worth. So I'm going to drive around a little bit, sports fans. Let's take a look at this town. Ladies' Southern Hair. I don't know how that's different. Here's a bakery. The Yellow Belly. Well, back downtown, Arcadia. Coming in from the other end. We walked all this. You can see the old Opry House up here. I wonder if our guy's still out there screaming. I don't see him. I guess he ran out of voice. Or he moved on to another corner. Did his screaming for the day. I guess he's done. That's a consignment shop back there on the corner where he was screaming. Yeah, I want to get over 2 blocks. So. Well, before I leave, I want to drive around and look at some of the homes, some of the older homes with the fine architecture from the Old South. And some of these have survived 3 hurricanes or more. Notice that Florida look with the big porches that wrap around, so you can sit outside and get a breeze. These homes usually have several doors that they can open and windows they can open where the breeze just flows through. And many of these homes look like they could use a little repair. A little paint wouldn't hurt. This one's, I believe, being remodeled. Got a red door. That means it's probably paid for. County courthouse. DeSoto County. City and county offices. Well, I can tell you Ben's hungry, so he's going to look for a little lunch. And on the river, not 17 miles away though, came to this place. Great reviews. Only problem is, yep, she's out of business. Looks like one of the hurricanes got it. A lot of homes along the river in that particular area. Fish house. The name of this place is the Navigator. Yep, that's the name of it, the Navigator. Now, I wasn't the only one that stopped in here this day. There were 2 other cars pulled up here looking for it. And
like me, they're going to have to find lunch somewhere else. There's no trespassing. Looked like it must have been quite the place. Right next to it is a boat dock where you can dock your boat. Just a short drive around the neighborhood just to see what it's like on the water. Well, we're going to have to head out of here. Got quite a drive to get back home.
That's Arcadia. Well, that's Arcadia. What'd you think? I'll give you my opinion. As I've said before, I've been by it. Drove around it, never stopped. So I wanted to stop and take a look. And, well, would I recommend it? Well, if you're looking for antiques, yes, I'd recommend it. If you're just looking for an interesting place to go, if you're driving in that direction and you're right by it, sure, stop in. But to take a trip to go over there, you know, for me it was almost 80 miles. No. Not to see some guys standing on the street screaming about Jesus. And I'm all for Jesus, by the way. But this guy was... he had a loose wheel somewhere, just screaming top of his lungs. And I did see a few tourists there, and I seen them all leave because of that. So I drove around a little bit. You see that in the video. Would I recommend it? Yeah, if you're in the area, sure, stop by. Or if you're looking for antiques, stop by and see what they got. Well, another ambulance. But you are in Florida, so you're going to see a share of ambulances. So I went to a couple other places. One was, and they were washouts, you might say. So the trip wasn't exactly what I call a great trip. Not for me, anyway. But hang in there, maybe next time. Well, I know next couple of months are going to be good. Good trips. Especially in another week and a half. Got a couple planned. Going to be pretty good. So do me a favor. Subscribe to the channel. Helps me out. Helps me out with YouTube. Hit that like button. You can also hit that notification bell. And you'll get a notification when I post a new one. Which I post every Monday. So folks, it's a pleasure having you with me. As always, Ben will see you down the road.